Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video of my private one-on-one with Superbon. He's the current one championship kickboxing champion, plus that and many other accolades. I wanted to keep it simple and learn some of the nuances of Muay Thai from him, from somebody being such a champion. So I asked for tips on striking movement, striking with movement, kicking form, different utilizations of the teep. Unfortunately, I didn't get much good audio because of music and pad smacking, but I'll give my best to give an explanation of what I've learned and review what mistakes I've made, things of that such. Uh, as a casual enthusiast in Muay Thai, I'm pretty lucky, consider myself blessed too, to have the honor to train with somebody of such a caliber. And yeah, let's get into it. So to begin with, this is striking with head movement. Just practicing the jab and the cross while utilizing offsetting like 45 degrees with my head. So you can see here he's talking about using more of my hips, thrusting that hand forward. And one thing I was doing was overexerting my force to one side, left and right. So like arching my back, things like throwing my head way too off to the left, looking too far in one direction, and just kind of takes away the purpose. So yeah, as you can see here, just very nonchalant, very smooth on his end, but I had to correct my foot stance. My back foot was planted a lot. And right here's an interesting thing. He throws not forward, not directly straight, but with a little bit arch up and coming down into the chin, which arcs over the hands, kind of just comes straight down to the face or to the chin. Another thing too is keeping the shoulders high to block from any incoming hooks, as you can see here demonstrated by Superbon. Trying to come over. That would have got me there. So yeah, we're just drilling this while static, so that way I can get used to the motion and keeping my chin covered. As I'm trying to slip out, going out 45 degrees, letting off my hand or throwing out my hand. Then we're going to get into a little bit more mobility while striking. So he's slowly marching me forward rather, as I tried to dip my head out of the way. Something to notice too is the way that his legs stance. I keep planting my back right foot for habit, so a little demonstration here. Just absolute butter. Yeah, so I'm going to replicate it exactly as it looks. And yeah, I'm having a lot more difficulty, which is a good thing to ask him why I wanted to spend so much time on something like this, because I mean, just the difference between his striking alone versus watching myself has taught me a lot about my composure when fighting, especially my stance. And he could just pop off, move forward, sway. So one thing is to arm out straight, head down out 45 degrees, keeping that from going for the jab, keeping my foot a little turned in like that, just to get that reach in. It's one of the things that he specified for me to do, like that. So we go forward and backward, just practicing the strikes. You can see that I take a step back first with my left foot and then edge back with my right, which I wanted to do that right there, which is step back with the right initially to make that space. and to then to throw the cross while moving my head. So again, my foot stance is right there. What he did too is like he picked down the center line and then told me to tread that. And right there he was telling me to bend my foot, toes facing forward, because I have this tendency to keep them all the way out, which doesn't allow for optimum striking into kicks. Speaking of kicks, this is into the kicking form. You know, I just wanted to test it out, see how it was. Right there he's telling me to not kick too hard. You know, still just working on strength control. Again though, but my stance being an issue. As you can see, his foot on the red and then the blue. That center line is what he's using to guide me. I tend to cross over both into one side, my stance being too narrow, and it limits my range of motion a lot, like initiating the attack. And so right here we're marching back and forth to just kind of get an understanding of how I'm moving. And one of the things I honestly did not recognize while training, I mean, even still, look at my right foot, it's facing outward. Look at his, marching forward, facing forward. I mean, the guy doesn't even have to look. It's pretty cool. He already knew. Yeah, so we're moving, and then we stop, and then he wants me to execute the throw. And he's telling me again, watch where you're standing, look how you're standing. Well, at a certain point, it was just like, man, what am I doing? Like, you can see me etching my left foot back into that center line. So it gave me definitely something to drill while I'm at the gym. Which is great because, like, I don't think an error like this would have ever gotten corrected. And right there, he's telling me that when to throw the kick, keep the hand in front as an obstruction of view. Again, in slow-mo. He kicks, but he keeps that hand up, so that way it's hard for me to see past, and I can't really strike across. It makes it a lot more difficult than just throwing my hand down. Then we work our way into the teep kicks, and then it shows me a little feint to teep into roundhouse as well. Now, one of the things he liked to show me was the utilization of teeps against the legs, against the center of gravity. It was telling me to keep my posture up, and when that leg comes up, to push forward into the center of gravity and use my weight to push them back. I had a tendency to do like that jab where I'm reaching further out and trying to extend myself and putting my center of gravity or my upper body backward. And right there you can see just like a beautiful execution of it. So he's telling me to do that, and that's the thing, was I'm gonna reach out too far right there. He was able to shift his weight forward and knock me back. So what he's saying is keep composed, keep it tight, boom, right into the center of gravity. Another thing too is right here shows me that to stare at around the T, make a T between the clavicle, the collarbone, down to like underneath the pectoral muscles, like kind of just like the upper mid body. So that way we can see where the hip's gonna go. Using your peripheral vision is a big one with him. And right here he throws the teep, but he knows that I'm moving back, so he uses it as almost like a feint to step forward and cut the distance. Let's just see here, because I knew it was coming, and then boom, sets it up perfect for the kick. I was impressed. So then I go again, I'm gonna try. Tell me keep my hands up. This form is just so great. Look at that. I mean, in these kicks, they were light. Like, he wasn't aggressively pushing me, but like that center of gravity, that push, his legs, I mean, just launched me back. There's nothing I could do. Again, with the planting of my foot, he's telling me that he's like, you're not going to work if you're not just on your toes, if keeping it light, being able to shoot that teep instead of relaxing, keeping it back. And two, when you throw it, he tells me to stand on the ball of my feet, which definitely need more practice. He's demonstrating me again how to throw that back teep, bringing it forward. Yeah, another thing that I definitely need to work on. Boom. Now, fortunately, I was able to capture a bit of good audio with Superbon discussing the utilizations of teeps in his words.
But no people like to do. You know why? Because for setting. When I put here, I make sure I can attack with the right kick. When you start to left, when I touch here, I already know I can attack here too. Or I can attack here too. That means.
Okay, so distance.
And then when you come here, when I come for the punching, I come for the punching. You try to come for the punching. It's longer than hand. You see that? And then when you start with jab, you cannot come with that. That probably work for stopping the combination, for starting the combination, for everything. Yeah, people don't like to do it. But they don't look good when they punch. Small thing but powerful.
And then mess with the head.
Yeah, you should make your crazy too. How to protect that.
Yeah.
Find someone starting this, how you do? Yeah, I can start. And you walk when you walk. I go to
To give a brief recap of what we were just discussing, Superbon is utilizing the teep kick against a southpaw fighter, hence why I switched my stance, using his teep to block my ability to move forward, getting me scrambled. Then eventually we worked into just teeps in general, using those to really disrupt the momentum and flow of the opponent and get them thinking low. And once he starts getting them to think low, then of course he goes high with the strikes, or as you can see, the question mark kick he utilized, which I cannot do because I do not have that flexibility and would probably tear something in my legs, knowing myself and my luck. So again, in this video we went over striking with head movement, kicking form, using teeps against southpaw fighters, against opponents in general, and really reviewing some basics of Muay Thai and kickboxing. I don't think that I've paid enough attention to the nuances and subtleties such as foot positioning, marching forward, things that should be practiced during shadowboxing and such. I will definitely take some time personally to review my footage and, utilize again the techniques taught to me from Superbon. I felt this was an essential thing to have for myself and my colleagues that I practice Muay Thai with. So I hope this video serves you well. Please, if you're in the gym, Pacific Ring in Oakland, feel free to ask me any questions, and from what I can remember and from what notes I've taken on the videos, I will be more than happy to share the information. Thanks again, and train well.
No, you pay me too much money.
I'm glad I'm reaping the benefit of it.